And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the co-featured bout of the evening. Now entering the arena, please welcome JJ Mighty Quinn McDonough.
Well, hyping himself up with some furious shadow boxing at the back of the King Abdullah Sports Hall is JJ McDonough, the Irish super middleweight champion, making his way towards the boxing ring for his 21st professional contest tonight. And this heavy-handed individual brings to the ring a 20-fight record of 16 wins, 8 of them coming inside the distance, 4 defeats, one of those via the short route as well. He's full of confidence, is this young man, and he feels that he has the measure of Chris Eubank Jr. in what would undoubtedly be the biggest win of his career.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent as he enters the ring, the former IBO Super Middleweight Champion of the world, from Brighton, Sussex, England, Chris Next Gen Eubank Jr.
Well, as impassive as ever, Chris Eubank Jr. makes his way purposefully towards the roped arena for the first time since he was outpointed in the semi-final of the World Boxing Super Series at the hands of his bitter rival George Groves. That was up in Manchester in February of this year. He picked up a rather serious cut over his right eye during the course of that contest. That appears to be fully healed. Says that he suffered no ill effects, no psychological scarring from that setback, and he's been preparing for this one over in America as he vaults the top rope in customary fashion, awaiting for the final pre-fight introductions as he prepares for his ring return after suffering his second career loss last time out.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, we are set to go with the co-featured bout of the evening. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Camosa AG. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this contest from ringside, Jürgen Bilhardt, Alexander Plumans, and Holger Wyman. At the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring will be Jörg Milka. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears black and silver. This southpaw weighed in at 74.9 kilos. His professional record, 16 victories against 4 defeats. He has 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Mullingar, Westmead, Ireland. He is the former BUI Irish national champion and former WBA international light heavyweight champion. Introducing JJ Mighty Quinn McDonough. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the green with silver. He's scaled at already 76.2 kilos. His professional record, an excellent one. 26 victories, only 2 defeats. He has 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former British, Commonwealth, and European champion and former IBO Super Middleweight champion of the world. Fighting out of Brighton, Sussex, England, introducing Chris Next Gen Eubank Jr.
Gentlemen, red corner, please. Gentlemen, follow me my commands, clean boxing, touch gloves. In the corner.
So we're underway then. Super middleweight action scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds between boxers who know one another very well indeed. The southpaw wearing the black trunks trimmed with silver is JJ McDonagh. 32 years of age now, competing in his 21st professional contest tonight. 16 victories, 8 of them have come inside the distance, snaking out a long right jab which caused the man in the green trunks just to take some evasive action and back up, using his feet to good effect there to make his opponent fall short. And that is Chris Eubank Jr., 29 years of age, competing in his 29th professional contest tonight. 28 victories, just 2 defeats, 20 wins inside the distance for a 71% knockout ratio. And it's worth noting that his 2 defeats have come against world-level operators, indeed men who went on to become or are indeed current world champions. The reversals suffered against Billy Joe Saunders, the reigning WBO middleweight champion of the world, and George Groves in his last contest. Here's a nice counter right jab on the retreat from JJ McDonagh, but it was George Groves who outpointed him while defending his WBA world super middleweight title last time.
I think what is very evident, Ronald, when you look at both these boxers, how big McDonagh is. Looks like he's in the next division up. He's been up at light heavy, remember. And Eubank Jr. has got a different sort of problem in facing a bigger man who's a southpaw, a little bit awkward. And we'll see how Eubank goes with this one, but he's not his normal aggressive on that front foot. He's just taking a look at his opponent.
Well, he's stumbled backwards to the canvas, and I'm not quite sure if it's a leg injury that has befallen JJ McDonagh, but it was a counter shot which maybe caught McDonagh on the top of the head, and those equilibrium shots can scramble the balance. But McDonagh down on the canvas in dramatic fashion in this opening round. Chris Eubank Jr. remaining poised, patient, that right hand cocked, low-held left hand content to fence and spar with him.
He's not so, I was saying, Ronald, not such an aggressive Eubank tonight. He's taking a little look at his opponent, trying to come back with his own counters. It's a patient display up to now. We'll have to have a look at that on the replay again. Knockdown. So McDonagh, he seems very confident indeed, does the Irishman.
So closing seconds of what has been a dramatic opening round. Nice left jab scored by Eubank. McDonagh busy bobbing and weaving, bustling with his hands. An incident-filled opening round as JJ McDonagh makes his way back to the corner where Kaz Evans is issuing the instructions.
Cheers. Big breaths. And out. Yeah, in and out. Yeah, just flashing up.
So a fairly cagey opening round from Eubank. He just caught, yeah, you know what, it's a left hook from Eubank, just on the side of the head. Let's have a look at it from this angle. As McDonagh comes forward, there it is there. So it's a sweeping shot, and it just scrambles the senses of McDonagh there. So, you know, it was a knockdown. Let's have a look. There it is there. Just on the temple. The legs just go a little bit there for McDonagh. But he recovered quickly enough. But because of that, that's Eubank's round. Yeah, sweeping left hook.
Right hand through the middle to the body. When he double the attack. Right. Yeah, double the attack. All right, son.
So the customary figure of Ronnie Davis over in the corner of Chris Eubank Jr. Referee Jorg Milker finally happy, calls time in to get this second round underway. After Chris Eubank, there's the same shot that he used to stiffen the legs of JJ McDonagh and cause him to stretch out on the canvas in the opening round. Eubank remaining concentrated.
So McDonagh will have to just watch what he's doing here, Ronald, as he's going forward. He's walked onto that left hook, and there it is again there. That's probably because McDonagh's coming forward with a very low lead hand, walking forward, and then Eubank is throwing that left hook and he's hitting the target. So he's got to keep his own lead hand a little bit higher as McDonagh, as he's going forward. He's probably got to bob and weave and move that head a little bit and try and avoid that left hook, but he gets home with his own lead right hook there, does McDonagh.
Right hand, a potent punch from McDonagh. You mentioned the size. 6'2" according to the tail of the tape, and he looks every inch of that, does JJ McDonagh. He's weighed in as low as 157 pounds for a contest earlier this year over in Mexico in January of 2018, but his most notable win to this point came when he took the O of Jake Ball back in November of 2016, and he came out absolutely blistering fashion. First of all, punched Jake Ball over the top rope and then took him out with a sweeping southpaw right hook. Took that fight at short notice, got the call on Monday. The fight wasn't finalized until Tuesday, and then was in the ring at the Wembley Arena on the Saturday. Came out firing and scored the most notable win of his career. Of course, if he could inflict another reversal on the ledger of Chris Eubank Jr. here, well, that would most certainly be the biggest win in the 20-fight ledger of JJ McDonagh.
Just one of these shots just landed a little bit low there. Just referee just saying to keep it up a little bit. He's not doing too bad in this round, McDonagh. He's coming forward and he fancies his chances. Eubank being patient again, just waiting for the opportunities and the openings. That's not bad there. That lead hand of Eubank, good jab. But McDonagh on that front foot, he's forcing the affair.
Patient punch picking from Eubank on the back foot once again. Just keeping the distance between himself and his man and using a rapier-like left hand in an attempt to keep his man at bay. Corkscrew left wasn't too far away from Eubank. So there is the educated left hand of Callum Smith being prepared ahead of his maiden world title bid. Russ Anber, the man on bandaging duty inside the boxing ring, very experienced figure you know very well indeed, Richie.
Yeah, Russ Anber just doing the bandages there. Callum Smith, great Canadian coach and great Canadian commentator also. So of course he's the boss of Rival Boxing Equipment and he's got a good, great company.
So into the third round then. Speaking with JJ McDonagh as he takes a stiff left hand from Chris Eubank to begin the third stanza. But we're speaking with McDonagh during the week. Both he and his manager and trainer Kaz Evans were adamant that they haven't taken this fight for the money as Eubank attempts a sweeping left hook which is short of the mark, but rather they feel that they have the measure of Chris Eubank Jr. and the reason that they feel that way because McDonagh's younger brother Paddy, oh, that's a good left hand followed by a right from Eubank Jr. And then he went in with a right hand to the body, but McDonagh standing firm and still swinging away. Right hand's an effective shot to the torso once again from Eubank. Both boxers ignoring Jorge Milker's call to stop boxing. He's having to read the riot act in the direction of both boxers. McDonagh, difficult to discourage, still coming forwards and looking for that southpaw left. Lead right hand was blocked effectively by Eubank. But during the course of those sparring sessions that McDonagh's younger brother Paddy, a light heavyweight, enjoyed with Eubank last summer, they sparred dozens of rounds together. JJ McDonagh was observing those and said at that time to his trainer and manager Kaz Evans, I've got the beating of this man. They actually sparred 3 rounds together themselves, but both men concede you really couldn't take too much away from the 3 rounds of sparring that they shared. But from the sparring that his younger brother engaged in, That is what's given JJ McDonagh the supreme confidence, not just to take this fight, but to believe that he can win it.
He's certainly having his fair share of success in this round, McDonagh, coming forward. Eubank occasionally is a bit too far away and really fancies it up close also, so when they do get together, then it really is a firefight, isn't it? But Eubank, it's whoever makes mistakes here, because Eubank's coming back well with his left hook. And I think McDonagh, as I said before, got to keep his right hand higher as he's coming forward. He's walking onto that left hook, but he wants to get close also to land those bent arm shots.
Chopping left hook from Eubank, then a cracking right hook, followed up, and now Eubank looking to go through the gears and put a combination of punches together. McDonagh, though, standing firm in the pocket. He came orthodox momentarily before getting back into his customary port-sided stance.
That was good from Eubank, going through the gears, an injection of pace. That's what he has in his arsenal there. Eubank can just go through those gears, and that's what he did, just up the tempo there. That was much better from Eubank.
So Eubank on the front foot now, stalking his man. Counter left hand from McDonagh was short. Well, despite going through the gears in that round, Chris Eubank Jr. still breathing effortlessly as he strutted his way back to the blue corner. Here's the man who conquered Chris Eubank Jr. last time out, the Saint, George Groves, the reigning WBA World Super Middleweight Champion, looking to defend his title once again and lay claim to the Muhammad Ali Trophy in tonight's main event.
Come on, mate, go and do it.
Here's some action here. Eubank had some success here. Just went through the gears, up the tempo, landed a couple of good shots. McDonagh is always in it, avoiding punches there also, McDonagh. But just got caught there. Left hook, right uppercut combination. And that little burst probably was enough to nick the round. It was close up to that point, but that maybe was the difference.
Well, that is it. Referee Jorg Milker has waved it off. And JJ McDonagh is not coming out for the round. Start of round 4 sees JJ McDonagh unable to answer the bell. He now in conversation with a man he knows very well indeed. Have to wonder what the nature of the issue is. Chris Eubank turns his palms towards the ring lights and shrugs rather frustratedly. He doesn't know what the nature of the issue is, or maybe JJ McDonagh has just informed him of the issue. Chris Eubank Jr., remember, he was the substitute for the main event. And so he was in condition for a 12-round fight in the event that either of George Groves or Callum Smith were injured. JJ McDonagh just feeling his right shoulder up there in the corner with Kaz Evans, and we wonder whether that is a problem. It would be something of grim symmetry, because Chris Eubank Jr.'s previous opponent, George Groves, injured his shoulder of his lead hand in his previous contest, and here JJ McDonagh appears to have suffered an injury to his right shoulder, but in this instance it's preventing him from being able to continue. That's where JJ McDonagh reached for the shoulder, and we understand that is the issue which has curtailed his involvement in the super middleweight bout that was scheduled for 10 rounds. So Chris Eubank Jr. gets back to winning ways. He was in against a rugged game opponent, one who came forward with plenty of ambition. So it's another win for Chris Eubank. He now improves his record to 27-2. And let's get the official announcement now from tonight's MC, David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the start of round number 4, the red corner retires. Referee Jorg Milker calls a halt to this contest. Your winner by TKO, Chris Next Gen Eubank Jr.
Well, given this man's aggressive boxing style, his punch-picking ability, his family name, and his box office appeal, he is never far away from a big fight. Chris Eubank Jr., there's plenty of talk in the trade that something big is bubbling between he and another domestic opponent. And we wait with bated breath to see what the next step will be for Chris Eubank Jr. A winner with a 4th round stoppage as JJ McDonough unable to answer the bell to begin round number 4. Chris Eubank Jr. back to winning ways after suffering a reversal to George Groves in the World Boxing Super Series semi-final. Well, let's hear what he has to say now. Up in the boxing ring is our reporter Gabriel Clark, who's positioned and poised to speak with Chris Eubank Jr.
Yes, Chris, congratulations. It's a win, but I imagine not in the way you would have wanted.
No.
Just clear up what happened. It's his right shoulder, I think, correct?
So he says. You know,
you're not convinced?
Not really, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, I've been out of the ring for 7 months, and this was my opportunity to shake some of that ring rust off. You know, it was a good fight while it lasted, but obviously the going was too tough for him, so he quit.
Is that why you think that's the real reason then, that the going got a bit tough?
I believe so. You know, I was starting to land at will. He was starting to feel my power, and you know, it's not the first time it's happened. But at the end of the day, it's a win. It's a win. I'm back to my winning ways, and now we're looking for a big fight at the end of the year.
You wanted a tune-up, obviously. You would have preferred a few more rounds.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I caught him in the first round, and to be honest, usually I would have gone into destroy mode and tried to take the guy out there, but you know, I wanted the rounds, so I let him recover, and you know, I wanted to display some of my boxing skills. People say I can't box, people say I can't jab, so I wanted to show the haters and the critics that, you know, there's a different side to Chris Eubank Jr.
Well, just stay there for a minute. JJ, just come in, because Chris has said there, he said that he feels you were finding the going too tough.
No, if I thought the tough was going, or if I just come in just for a payday to fight him, I wouldn't get up off the ground. I wouldn't say this in front of all the world. On my kid's life, I never did no sparring, only with my brother. I had a bad shoulder injury. I took the fight. I knew he was a great boxer. Pleasure to share the ring with him. No one is tough enough for me to finish off a fight. If I was able to fight on, I would fight on. Sorry for that. I got no sparring. People that know if I'm telling lies, they'd be watching now. If I did spar anyone, I wouldn't swear on my kid's life from that.
What happened then with the shoulder?
I hurt my shoulder through the second round. I couldn't use it anymore. Why wait for a beating and a half then off him? This is my good arm to fight with. Your job to keep him off. From there on, he was going to destroy me then, wasn't he? No point holding up for a beating, is there?
Thank you for clearing that up, Chris.
We're fighters. You know, your shoulder's bad, I understand, but you got to pull through these things. That's the only way you're going to make it in the game.
Not if there's another 7 rounds left. I'd like to see you, if you were this sole shoulder, in the first round as bad as mine, would you finish off in 7 rounds with me?
In my second professional fight, I fought with one arm for the entire fight. That's how much I wanted to.
Yeah, that's why. Do you know who he fought? A journeyman that he could beat with no hands. So it's a difference in this level of boxing, fighting with a bad shoulder. Listen, I don't get arrogant or ignorant.
We're not here
because I know one bit afraid of you. Anytime.
Guys, let's not have the fight again a second time.
One hand.
Let's not have the fight a second time, guys, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Chris, just a final word, because you are looking for another fight, obviously, before the end of the year is finished. Give us a clue, because James DeGale has been mentioned.
That's definitely a fight I'm looking forward to, trying to make happen at the end of the year. You know, that's the great thing about the situation right now. There's so many big names, there's so many great fights out there for me to have. So, you know, we're definitely looking to get one of the big marquee names in the ring by the end of this year.
But let's also, I suppose, show some respect tonight as well for JJ, correct?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Congratulations tonight.